Will he or won't he? Reports that the son of the late Libyan leader Saif Al-Islam may run for president has set markets abuzz in Libya. The second son of Gaddafi is wanted for alleged war crimes and was freed after 6 years in jail earlier this June. Ever since, there have been few reports about the man himself, and speculations have been mounting about his next possible move. According to reports in the Egyptian media, Saif Al-Islam has the support of major tribes in his home country and would run for presidency the next year. Islam is reportedly planning to run for office with the promise of providing more security and stability to the country, which has been in turmoil ever since his father Muammar Gaddafi was killed in the uprising in 2011. 7 years down the line, many of the former Gaddafi loyalists are now reportedly back in centers of power in the country. The 44-year-old, however, still faces a probe by an international criminal court for his role in the crackdown following the 2011 revolt against his father. It seems that there is a major player for the coming elections in Libya for the presidents of Libya, and is no less than the son of the former dictator of Libya, Muammar Gaddafi. His son will run for the presidency. He announced it, and he's been spending 6 years in jail. Now he's free, and it seems that he is fully willing to try to run and perhaps win the election in Libya. And our foreign senior editor Padma Rao is joining us on the broadcast for more on this. Padma, good morning and thank you very much for joining us. So again, a Gaddafi running for the presidency in Libya. Does he actually stand any chance?
Well, it would certainly seem not so, Daniele, because as you know that after 2011, when the NATO forces took out General Gaddafi, Muammar Gaddafi, there has been chaos, there have been conflicting militia warring with each other. So there are many Libyans on the other hand, and that perhaps gives Saif Gaddafi the hope, yearn for the kind of relative stability that they saw under the Muammar Gaddafi regime, no matter how brutal it is reputed to have been. So I think, and also what is an interesting angle is that Saif Gaddafi seems to be, and indeed analysts who have been watching Libya have also commented on this, seems to be receiving some kind of tacit outside support, perhaps even from the United States. Let's not forget that there were a lot of states. Libya is a very oil-rich nation, and there were a lot of Western countries that had overt and covert trade with Libya under Muammar Gaddafi. So, you know, the first comment that he gave, he was held incidentally since 2011 by a militia, and he was released in June this year, and he would not, I think, have come out with a statement like this, eyeing elections, unless he had the support of somebody out there in the West. And it's interesting to note that he made these remarks to a so-called US contact who gave it, passed it on to the media. And the elections are due in 2018. How much ground support will he receive? That's unclear, because as I said, it's a very fluid situation on the ground, and there are various groups warring each other. But there is the feeling and a desire for stability of the kind they saw under Muammar Gaddafi. And Saif Gaddafi, who stands accused, once he was, convicted of murder in a Libyan court, but that trial was conducted in absentia, so those charges don't stick against him. Indeed, it was criticized even by Western human rights groups at the time. The other case pending against him is in the International Court of Justice. So these are the two things, hurdles. But generally, and I hate to say this with a certain amount of cynicism, but when you have the big powers backing somebody like this, it's quite possible that he might emerge as the only forerunner, if you like, in a Libyan election in 2018 if it takes place.
And this kind of leads me, Padma, in the next question I have for you. You interestingly say that he is quoting some sort of outside help that he might be receiving, and you said it might be the United States. What makes you think so?
Well, I think I should repeat that. Perhaps I wasn't clear enough. He divulged the information that he would like to run for the elections to a US source who was quoted by and large in the Western media. And the same Western media has also spoken to experts, other Western experts who watch Libya quite closely. And some of them have pointed out that he could emerge as a political force, and also that there are Western powers, whose company companies in those countries have indulged in trade with Libya for a very long time. And they might see this graduate of the London School of Economics, he's a very westernized, suave man, Saif Gaddafi, as perhaps their chosen candidate to back, you know, the horse they're going to back if there is an election. But I don't think there will be a race. If at all, there will be the emergence of one candidate. And if he receives such heavy backing from Western nations, as I said, whether overtly or covertly is not the question, then certainly we might stand to see him as return to the head of Libya in 2018.
And interestingly, Padma, Libya could turn out to be yet another front line between the US and the UN and Russia, because Russia in this moment is actually supporting the so-called Tobruk-based Council of Deputies and not the UN-led government. We will see what happens. Thank you very much. This was Padma Rao, our senior foreign editor, helping us to decode the comeback of a prominent politician and person in Libya, no less than the son of Gaddafi, who intends to run for the presidency.